Hey everybody, Jamie Pate here. Welcome to this video. Super excited to share this with you. So we might as well go ahead and get started. Let's go. All right, friends, I have here in my hot little hand this album that might look familiar to you because we put it together last week on the channel. Well, I showed you how to put it together anyway, and it's very basic 5x7 bound with twine kind of album. It's just, I lost my words right there. So I thought today it would be probably helpful, I hope helpful, to show you what I've done inside in that video, and it will be linked, so make sure you check it out and see how to make just a real super, I think maybe one of the easiest mini albums I've done, but it does have a fun technique in the middle, and I'll show you that completed here as well. The only thing that this album does not have yet is journaling, but those journaling spots are in place, so we'll talk about that as well. Okay, like I said, this is a 5x7 album. It is featuring 49 Market's Summer Porch, almost exclusively. I tried to add some other things in here, and actually I did add some Elizabeth Craft, and so I'll point that out as well. The cover is real basic. The intention was to have a flat cover because I knew that it was going to actually literally go into a shelf just like this, right? And you get too much stuff on the front with sometimes with these albums, you're going to kind of mess them up. So mostly flat. This is a rub-on from the Summer Porch, then a little text phrase here. Summertime, can you see the summertime right there? Is also a rub-on. And then this camera is from the laser cuts, and gosh darn it if I just don't love that camera so very much. You'll probably see another one again. So I just opened right up here and introduced the story that basically I'm sharing in here, and it was a camping trip that we did several years ago now. And I just hadn't printed any photos out from it yet. And there's actually, I could probably do like 4 more of these. And I've kind of been questioning that. I'm like, should I just do like volume 1, 2, 3, and 4? I mean, there's a lot of photos. And I think we all, at times, I'm guessing, because I think all of our challenges are the same for everybody, is that a lot of times for an event or a vacation, there's a lot of photos that are taken. I kind of go back and forth with, where do I put them? Do they go into a ring binder? Do I make albums for them? This is kind of limited, right? Because of how big we can actually make it before it's too big. So I don't have an answer for you right now. Well, I do have an answer. I do think ring binders are probably the best. But I don't know. I don't want to open up that can of worms right now. So let's just not. Let's just keep going here. So over here is my cluster of embellishment. This over here is just the photo. These are 4x6 photos, and then they're matted on white paper. I forgot to cut them according. No, actually, take that back. I actually ordered these from a developer, and so they're not quite how I would have edited them. But never mind. We're not going to get into that. I have some smudge over here that I'm trying to get off the page, and I got to go back and clean that up a little bit. So I'm just embracing the photos. Just so much of my life is just embracing the thing. I'm embracing the photos. Anyhow, so I have a little cluster over here. This blue piece is part of the ephemera. This is an acetate leaf. I don't think this exact leaf is available anymore, but there are other ones that 49 Market do actually provide. And I think Willow might even have some colors. The hello is part of the ephemera, as is the label and the summer vibes. This butterfly is not 49 Market. It's actually Spellbinders. Isn't it cool? I actually kind of tore it apart. It's layered. It's supposed to go on the sparkly background. I didn't do that. I didn't want the sparkle, so I pulled it off. The Remember is a rub-on, and then I created with the little tab ephemera this journal card, and so that just slips right in there. I also, too, just want to note, I had this page complete, and then I was really struggling with how busy the pattern paper was. It's beautiful, but it was busy. So I layered some vellum over that and just kind of cut the busy just enough. It's still there, but I felt better about it when I was done. I added some tabs in here, and then here I have a little belly band, and this also is a piece of ephemera, and it's great home for the journaling that will be part of this. And just create a little cluster right there on the band. You just have to be careful if you're doing this yourself that you just make sure the adhesive gets right on the band. This was kind of skinny because I was using part of the paper that only came in a strip like this. So there's a label here that's from the ephemera. The stamp is from the laser cuts. I made that little notch little baby myself. The So Thankful is ephemera, and the Simple Life is from the laser cuts. And then another ephemera tab over here as well. Are you seeing a pattern here yet? We've got some clustering and embellishing going on one side. The photo was all on one side, and I did the same thing here. Except the thing I did different here, I had this sort of what I call white space in the photo. So I added this little journal spot because I loved what it said. And it was sort of nautical, and we were on the water. In the Book of Life, summer is a chapter we never want to end. And I will admit, I wouldn't mind some of the heat ending right now because it's already been a really ferocious summer. But there's so much about summer that I love so much that I kind of agree with that sentiment right there. All right, over here, notice there's lots of strings. I know, I purposely didn't cut off my strings. I just liked them, so I left them on. So there's a pocket here that's part of the ephemera pack. And actually, I wanted to show those to you because if you have joined me, well, I'm going to show these to you, but I can only find one more. Now, here we go. Here's a couple more. If you have joined me in the loaded envelope class that I offer, this kind of reminded me of that. This is kind of fun. Now, I didn't do the loaded part. I had to kind of be careful of how much depth, how much height I was giving my embellishments because of the size of this particular album. But these are really terrific, and they come scored. You can see here I already folded this one and I sanded the edges, and these are terrific. These come in the ephemera. They used to come in their own pack, and this particular collection, they came in with that product. And so I made that, and I just crafted a tag from the solids to fit right in here. I just trimmed that up and used another tag to make my corners, to cut off my corners. And then we have laser cut, ephemera, and this butterfly is laser cut too. Let's just give you, I think it's just pretty simple. I liked how it came together. Next page is, of course, 4x6 photo on one side. And this is white cardstock. If you remember in that video that there is a page that was just white right in the middle. We're getting to the middle here and to the other technique that we added. So this was a really easy page, fun page, and I really liked how it came together. I love this contrast of this stripe paper and this leaf. So what I did is, this is a little pocket that I made. I mean, this is only an inch wide. And so there's an adhesive 1/8 inch double-sided adhesive. And I say that because this needed more than roller, and it needed just 1/8 inch, so it had a little bit of room for some tuckables. And so that is one of my things. I try not to stay too hard pressed about things, but when it comes to mini albums and making sure things stay in place, this double-sided adhesive roll is super important and super helpful. I use the 1/8 religiously and the 1/4 religiously. Oh, and the 3/4 is becoming pretty important too. Anyway, get back to the book, James. Okay, so this is a tag from the ephemera, and I just wrapped some twine and stapled it. And it could add some sentiment. This could have sentiment. This could have journaling. And it just tucks in there super sweet and cute. This big old leaf, gorgeous piece of the laser cuts. And then I just added the happiest and this day in perfect, just sort of in random places there, kind of through the leaves. And I was done. This was one of the easiest pages I did, and I just love how it turned out. And I'm a tree fan. There's just something about taking photos of trees. So here's the page that we did in that video. I also walk through all of the ephemera and adding this cluster here. And this here is actually Elizabeth Craft design paper that I have in here. And if you refer back also to an unboxing, I think that's the video before making the 5x7 album, I talk about these papers. I'm loving how this is going with the summer porch. It's making me happy, people. It's just making me happy. So now we have the other side. So this was all white cardstock. So this came about with white cardstock, and you can't see it, covered it up, and you can see it here, and it's backing up yet another, I think, no, okay. Yeah, it's the same photo. In case you're wondering, I got a little crazy there. Don't judge me. Okay, so the next thing here is this little cluster piece. And this started off with this Moto Scrap die. It's this great postage die, and this is just like the medium size of these frames that you can make with that die set. And so I got it into place. I kind of had to cover up a seabird here, so that's literally why that banner's right there. Kind of didn't need the seagull, not in the forest. And then I added this little ticket under here, and then I added this tree. The trees are a big part of one of the rub-on packages. It might be the botanicals. And then I felt like it needed just something else, so I added this extra piece over here as well. Happy how that turned out as well. Now this was a fun page. We got the cluster going on over here with some of the laser cuts as well as the ephemera. And then over here, I had several photos of, we were in town or something, and by the water again. So I just literally stapled them together and then added tabs to each of them. So it just makes it super easy to lift. And then I have plenty of room here for adding in the story, for adding in the journaling. This I show in the album, how easy it is to make this little flip here. This here got 3 photos on it, 3 4x6 photos. I don't usually do 4x6 photos, but it just seemed appropriate for this particular album. I just did a real simple strip of our happy place. Just thought it doesn't get any simpler than that. The last page I have in here is a family selfie, which was just so much fun. We were just being super goofy because that's how we are. And it just slays me to see these pictures from 4 years ago. And to look and see where everybody is, oh my goodness, I could just go off on that right there. Every one of these kids are in completely different places in their lives, and it blows my mind. Anyway, this was the last of the flap. I thought it was so pretty just to add this little endless summer vibes, because that's exactly how I'm feeling. This part of that pattern paper, this is the matching from the front, didn't feel quite as busy. I really liked how it turned out. That is a look at the photo placement as well as the embellishing of this 5x7 album. I wanted to give you all a chance to see, yes, I actually did finish it. Yay me! And what it looks like when it is done. And so I'd love your comments down below, what you do with really large photo stories, and what is your most favorite way to get those documented. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in anything I shared today, I always link it below. Let me know of any questions you might have, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.